This is Wretched Radio with Todd Friel.
Actually, I prefer Mr. Friel. This is Wretched Radio, plebeians. Welcome to the program where you get to learn all kinds of brilliant things. Because you're going to jump in pretty soon on me? I'm just dying over here. Can you jump in pretty quick?
Yeah. Why are you talking like that, Todd?
Oh, am I talking differently than I usually am?
Just a little.
Oh, well, that's so funny. I was trying really hard not to be smug, but I told you so. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I know I was thinking it. I just didn't mean for it to come out of my mouth. I hold in my never-before nicotine-stained fingers, and I told you so. Okay, maybe not a big one, but nevertheless, I'm going to claim it anyway. Isn't that what we do in so many quarters of evangelical Christianity anyway? There's a new book from Tara Isabella Burton. Came out the fall of last year. Strange Rites, New Religions for a Godless World. She claims that 50% of this country is remixed. They're not Christian entirely. They're not pagan completely. It's a little bit of it. It's syncretism. It's the very thing that the Bible warns us of because our hearts are prone to cobble together our own religion. This is what idols are made of. Our imaginations. We carve a piece of wood. That'll do. Because we create a God probably in our own image. We create a deity that works for us. And she claims that's basically our culture. And she explains how we got here. And I'm going to do my best to not be smug. Though they are drifting away from the Judeo-Christian roots, they are still seeking what religion offers. And she explains why it is that they are cobbling together whatever it is that pleases them. A number of forces have combined to bring about and shape remixed culture. And strangely enough, one of the most important is Harry Potter. I told you those books were bad. I knew the kids shouldn't be reading the Harry Potter books. I knew it. I'm sorry.
You said it. You did.
I said I wouldn't be smug about this. It's an interesting take on the impact of Harry Potter. And it goes a little bit deeper than the pagan and the witchcraft stuff that was clearly glamorized in Harry Potter. Because remember, when it comes to the dark side, there's the dark side and there's the dark side. There's not shades. Like, well, Harry Potter's a good pagan witch. No, witchcraft is witchcraft. There ain't a good kind and a bad kind. You're either for 'em or agin 'em. But her take on it goes a lot deeper than that. Consider what people are trying to figure out. What is every system groping for? They need a narrative that explains the way they perceive reality and to fulfill the longings of the human heart, which includes cleansing their conscience. So they're drifting away from Judeo-Christian roots, but they're still seeking what religion offers. Meaning, why is the world the way that it is? Poipus, shaping life according to that meaning. We human beings, we are wired by God to be glorifying Him. And if we are not doing that, we're miserable. And so the world gropes, seeking to figure out a way, how can I feel more satisfied and fulfilled? I'm miserable doing this. It's a dead end. I keep grasping and getting, and then I need to grasp more, and I get it, and then I need to grasp more, and I get it, and I'm never content, and they never will be. They can't be, because the way the world operates is human beings, God's image bearers, are to be glorifying Him, and when we're not, we're going to be miserable. Period. That is the way that it works. And they're cobbling together systems, sort of religious, in fact, I would say very religious, because even though Christianity is indeed a religion, it is. When people are religious, that's not Christian, because we're the grace religion. A religious system structures, explanations, rituals to make sense of the world and make me feel better about my place in it. But it does not help you to get into a right relationship with God. So the world is seeking purpose. They're seeking meaning and an explanation. Community. Joining in with others to feel that purpose, to say, hey, you know what? I'm a part of something here. I want to be with others. Where does that come from? Not everybody can be a man on a hill, just sitting all by himself. Even that fellow thinks, it sure would be nice to have some company on occasion. Why? Answer Trinity. The Trinity explains why it is that you and I were individuals with individual thoughts, longings, desires, guilt, and yet we desire to be together. Where does that come from? The Trinity. God, three distinct persons, but one. Three distinct persons. There's your individualism, but living in community, perfect community as one. That's why you and I feel that tussle. A religious system that does not address both of those with equal balance soon becomes a system that will become very detached, very individualistic and selfish, or it will tell you to deny yourself, just become a part of the group, blend in, become just you're like a drop that goes into the bucket. No, Christianity says you're a drop and you're in the bucket. And that's what helps us to keep balance. But every religious system is trying to figure that out. Rather than creating new religions, they're actually blending together elements of many others. And again, she claims it could be 50% of the country that is feeling that way. They are cobbling together their own syncretistic system. And one of the reasons is because of Harry Potter. Now, believe me when I tell you, I'm not bringing this up just to be smug or anything, but it does help us to be illuminated as to what people are looking for and then how we can go about the business of proclaiming the good news of the gospel to them without falling into a ditch, by the way. So she says one of the forces that have brought the country to this place is Harry Potter. Please note this, whether it's Harry Potter or anything else, the only reason people are trying to fill that hole is because the church has left one. Back to the article. The remixed came of age just as Harry Potter was achieving its ascendancy. As they read the novels and watched the films, they went online to discuss and remix them. Get together to talk about the object of their affection. Is there anything in the Christian religion that provides that? The church. The books made such a deep impact, not just because people enjoyed the stories, but because they enjoyed the participatory culture they fostered. Why weren't they feeling fulfilled in the church? I think it's because we have not only downplayed the benefits of the church, but we've also turned church so often into mere amusement facilities. Just come, be entertained, get your life lesson, be on your way. It's the thing you do on Sunday morning, but that's the end of the story. And isn't it interesting that people who loved Harry Potter and wanted to spend more time with other Harry Potterites, they joined communities. They committed to online conversations. They wanted to be a part of something, even in a more formal manner. Isn't it interesting? At the same time, we are downplaying church membership while people are actually longing for it because they do. Why? Because that is the way we are designed and that's the way we're made to operate. Back to, this is Chally's review of this book. They enjoyed the participatory culture that they fostered together. Through it, all people came to expect more from what they consumed, so that stories were no longer meant to just entertain or teach, but to serve. They wanted a center to their life, and so they chose Harry Potter and all of the online communities and getting together for book readings. That's what church is. God is supposed to be, oh, this hurts, Harry Potter in people's lives. And isn't it funny that at the same time we saw this trend with Harry Potter, the church was retreating from the very things that people were seeking? That's the problem with being pragmatic. Sometimes you biff it with your prognostications. It's impossible to understand remixed spirituality without understanding the way that internet culture and fan culture in particular primed us to expect, even demand, narratives, practices, and communities that we found personally meaningful. And that has been the trend, the upward trend in our culture to create 50% of our society that believes in remixed religion. They're finding other ways to replace what they need. Now, here we are, the truth tellers, that can check each one of those boxes. And we can do that, but it must be done carefully. We don't want to make this mistake again. All of these things, community, having a purpose, being able to explain the way the world operates, having something that you're a part of that's bigger than you, if we're not careful, we'll present those fruits of the gospel as the gospel itself. Hey, you've been trying Harry Potter. No, try Jesus, because you'll have a better community, bigger purpose, and you'll deal with all the other stuff. Huh? Come to the gospel. No, we want people to come to Jesus because he's good. So we use these benefits of the gospel that are provided in the redemptive work of Jesus Christ so that they don't just love Christianity or the gospel, so that they love Jesus. And they seek him because of who he is, not simply because of all of the benefits that he provides. This is Wretched Radio. Training English speakers to be foreign missionaries is expensive and difficult.
You're going to spend 7 or 8 years learning Chinese, and then you're going to have to figure out how to preach effectively in Chinese, and you're going to have to kind of work your way into the culture. That is a very, very challenging thing.
The Masters Academy International trains indigenous men to rightly divide the word of truth, return to their countries, and fill empty pulpits. Learn more about the Masters Academy at wretched.org/pastor.